Hello, ranchers, dippers, and dunkers alike. You are listening to Spill the Ranch. I am your host, Noelle Zeller. I am Noelle Loves Sloths on all social media. Maybe you know me from there, maybe not. But hello. Welcome back to another fabulous episode of Spill the Ranch. And I'm so excited to be back. It's the week after Halloween, first week of November. First of all, I don't know how it's already November. Like, that to me is so crazy. I feel like Labor Day was like last week and you're telling me now it's already almost Thanksgiving. Like, excuse me. So I'm trying to wrap my head around that. I had a really fun weekend. I'm going to fill you in on it. And I thought it would be fun today for this episode for my topic of the day to be pop culture stories. Some of my favorite podcasts rely around like pop culture news, and there's kind of been a lot going on. So we're going to go over 5 stories that I found that I thought were interesting that we can talk about. So I'm really excited to talk about that. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. Let's get into it. First of all, though, if you enjoyed the podcast, feel free to give it a review on Spotify. I would love you so much. If you did, I would super appreciate it. It would be awesome. If you would like to do that, please do. So let's get into it. Last weekend, since we've spoke last, we've had Halloween. We've had KU homecoming. We've had daylight savings. So just kind of a lot going on this past weekend. And I had a very, very fun weekend. So I'll just take you through it. First of all, Thursday night, my sister stayed with us because she came into town for her 10th anniversary of like graduating from KU. Her and her friends, they graduated 10 years ago. And so they wanted to come back for homecoming. A lot of them don't live here, so it was kind of a fun thing. They stayed in Lawrence for the weekend, but on Thursday night she stayed with us. So that was fun. We went out to dinner with her and just caught up. When was the last time I saw her? I think it was the summer. It probably hasn't been since the 4th of July. Or like late July. We were home. We were home in late July. So, that's the last time I saw her. And so it's always good to see family. And we just had a nice little night. And we started watching Nobody Wants This season 2. Off to a strong start. I think we watched 2 episodes. The episodes are like 25 minutes long, so it's so easy. And yeah, then she got in at like 6:30. We went to dinner. We got home and watched a couple episodes of Nobody Wants This, and then we went to bed because I had to work the next day. So there was that. Then the next day, of course, was Halloween. And I don't know if anybody guessed my costume right, but I was Sue Sylvester from Glee. Now, what surprised me was that my students, really, a lot of them, like the vast majority, had no idea even what the show Glee was. Like they don't even know what the show is. Like, and I think that was the part that surprised me most. Like, I figured that a lot of people might not recognize that I was Sue Sylvester, but I didn't expect so many people to have no idea what the show Glee was. I really thought it was like, It was like, honestly, I think if you don't know what the show Glee is, like, you're the one living under the rock. But I just can't believe that many people like had no idea. It was a huge show back in the day. It really was. And even some people my age, no, I just really thought they were going to know, but I guess I was wrong. I suppose when I really think about it, the show came out before a lot of my students were even born. So when I think about it that way, I guess it kind of makes sense. Like, I wasn't necessarily watching, when I grew up, I wasn't watching shows that came out around the time I was born, except for the show Friends, but maybe that's an outlier. So there were some students who knew who I was, and I got so excited. when those kids came up to me, but I still thought it was such a fun outfit. I literally wore it all day at school. I took it off when I got home, and I wore something else while I was handing out candy for the trick-or-treaters. And then I went to a Halloween party that night, and I put the wig and the whole outfit back on for the party, and all my friends loved it. All of my friends were like way cuter, had way cuter costumes than me. I really went the funny route this year. But my friends all looked so cute and just so adorable. And yeah, so I love Halloween. I used to not like it. I think I've talked about this before, but I used to really not be that big of a fan of Halloween. And now I really am. I love handing out the candy. I love dressing up. I typically go for a funny costume. I feel like I kind of alternate every year. Although I will say the last 3 years I've done something funny and like not serious. But there was one year that I was Wonder Woman and I thought I looked so cute. There was another year that I was Britney Spears and I thought that was really cute too. But yeah, I've been mostly gone the funny route the past few years just because it's easier and like more comfortable. And usually I don't think of something good until like last minute, which I really need to do a better job of planning. But yeah, I do love Halloween. I love handing out candy. It's so much fun. I will say like something we noticed, we had some of our friends over and they were helping us hand out candy because we get a lot of trick-or-treaters. And one thing we do notice is a lot of kids do not say trick or treat and they don't say thank you. So I guess it's just a good reminder, like let's remind the kids to be saying please and thank you. And like they didn't even say trick or treat. That's what I was so confused about. But, you know, I didn't want to be that person who's like, what do you say? You know, but yeah, it was really fun. We got a lot of trick-or-treaters, so many cute costumes. Some of my favorite ones are like the toddlers that are like 2 or 3 and like they have no idea what's going on, but they look so cute. There was one, he was probably like 2 and he was Nemo from Finding Nemo and it was adorable. So those are my favorite kids to give candy to because they're so young still that they like probably won't remember this, but they are the cutest things in the entire world. And like, you know, they can walk around just barely and they're just so cute in their little costumes. So that's probably my favorite part. I would say the costume I saw the most of from the trick-or-treaters was the Lorax. There was a lot of Loraxes. And I would say there's probably like 20. Like there was really a lot. There was also a group of kids and they were all dressed as hot dogs. And I thought that was funny. So those are some good costumes. Then the next day on Halloween, we had KU homecoming. So me and Zach both went to the University of Kansas for school. So we like going to Lawrence for homecoming as alumni. We have season tickets, so we go to every game anyways. But on homecoming, our friends will like come with us and it's a good time. We can kind of make a whole day out of it. And so we went to my sister's tailgate, bopped around to a few different tailgates, met up with some college people. We went to the game and then we went to some of our old stomping ground watering holes. So that was just a really good time being in Lawrence, just being in the college town, you know, back where we have so many memories, truly. And it's funny because me and Zach actually met like a few times, probably really only once that I can remember, but like I think we probably met more than once in college. And I've told this story before, I think, but we met one time. It was very late at night after a night out. I don't remember what we talked about. It was so long ago. And I was like a junior in college. And we like met each other in the basement of someone's house and like he was eating a burrito and that it's just so funny. So it's weird that we went to the same college, but like we didn't have like my memories don't include him. Like we were separate, you know, like we didn't start dating until I was 23. Wait, how old was I when we started dating? I was 24, I think. Yeah, 24. And yeah, so it's funny, but we both have a lot of similar experiences because we both lived in houses that were like right next to each other. And like how we weren't friends, I don't know. But, you know, we saw each other at the same bars and all that. But I always love going back for homecoming and just like seeing, you know, what's new on campus and what's, you know, what is still there. And it's just, if you've never been on the University of Kansas, the campus, it really is a beautiful campus, especially at this time of year. So if you're a Midwestern junior, senior in high school and you're thinking about going to the University of Kansas, you definitely need to go for a tour. Go check out the campus. It's beautiful. It's so much fun. And our new stadium's going to be fully finished for football by next season. So that's what I did on Saturday. There was just like 6 of us, and I like booked a driver for us so that we didn't have to drive there, and that way we would for sure have like a ride there and back. Like I was just worried if we Ubered there that we like might not get one because it's like a 45-50 minute drive. So I just wanted to be sure that we had a ride there and back, and so I booked that ahead of time, which was a really good choice just because it's so easy. The last thing I want to talk about before we get into the pop culture stories is daylight savings. Now, typically, I hate when we fall back. So it's like in the fall, you know, you fall back an hour and that's when you gain an hour. And in the spring, you spring forward and that's when we turn the clocks ahead but we lose an hour of sleep. So I will say I love that we get an extra hour of sleep. And in the past, I've always gotten super, super depressed when we fall back, but then the daylight, you know, the sun goes down at like 5 o'clock. That used to really depress me. Okay. But now that I don't know, like I get up early and it's nice that it's light out when I'm on my way to work. And it's also like, it doesn't bug me so much that it gets dark earlier. Like I just sort of changed my routine in the winter and it works out. And I will say Sunday was like the best day ever because obviously I'd had a pretty busy weekend up until Sunday. And so I got to sleep in on Sunday and I got an extra hour of sleep. I woke up, I got a lot of stuff done around the house. Then I sat down and I was just like enjoying my day watching TV. I'm starting my Stranger Things rewatch because the new season's coming out in a few weeks. And I took a nap. Like I took a 2-hour nap. I've never been so rested in my life. And then I was done with my nap and it was still only like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So I did some filming for some content. I did some more stuff. Then it was still only like 5 o'clock. And so I got to sit down and watch the Chiefs game with Zach. And when the Chiefs game was over, it was still only 6:30. And so it's just like, it felt like such a long, wonderful, relaxing Sunday. It was like the most relaxing Sunday I've maybe ever had. So that kind of changed my outlook on daylight savings in the fall. Like if I could have a Sunday like that every year, heck yeah, I'll keep daylight savings forever. And then like obviously the spring forward daylight savings is amazing because then we get a lot more hours of daylight and it just kind of signals like summer is on the way. So I kind of feel like it's a win-win situation, honestly. And I used to think it was a lose-lose situation, but it's really not. Like it is really a win-win situation. I got just the longest, most relaxing Sunday. Like who doesn't love a Sunday? I used to be so scared of Sundays. I used to get the Sunday scaries hardcore. But then I met Zach and my Sundays became relaxing because like I wasn't like sitting home alone wallowing in self-pity and like fearing the week ahead. And I'm not saying that like you need to like date someone to not have the Sunday scaries. Cause I definitely didn't have them really until probably my like second year of teaching. And I wasn't even dating Zach by then. But I don't know, like there's something about like, you know, especially now that we've moved into our own house and we're not living in separate apartments. I really think that is what made it for me was when we weren't, you know, traveling from each other's apartments, even though they were only like 10 minutes apart. But it's nice, like we live in the same house. We can just hang out all Sunday. We can do activities. We can do stuff together. And it really kind of helped my Sunday scaries. So, but yeah, this past Sunday with the daylight savings was maybe my favorite Sunday that I've ever had. No stress. So excited for the week ahead. Just like, and I got so much rest. Like I'm the most rested I've ever been in my life, I think right now. So yeah, that's what I was up to over the weekend. I cannot wait to talk to you guys about these pop culture stories. They're not in any specific order. They're not in any order of importance, but we're going to start. And so I'm just going to read, what the headlines are saying. And then I'm just going to kind of give my 2 cents. So the first story is that Millie Bobby Brown filed harassment and bullying claim against David Harbour before filming Stranger Things season 5. Now, this piqued my interest because in the past, first of all, Millie Bobby Brown plays 11 in Stranger Things and David Harbour plays Hopper, the sheriff. And on the show, obviously they have a very like father-daughter positive relationship. And in the past, in like all of their press and stuff, it has seemed like they've really gotten along and they kind of have that similar-ish relationship off screen as well. So here's what the story is saying. Millie Bobby Brown and David Harbour reportedly clashed on the set of Stranger Things. According to the Daily Mail, Brown, who plays 11 on the show, formally complained about Harbour before the co-stars reunited to film the 5th and final season of Stranger Things. The Enola Holmes star filed a harassment and bullying claim before they started shooting the last season. A source told the outlet, adding that there were pages and pages of accusations and that the subsequent investigation went on for months. Sorry, I fumbled my words there. The outlet also alleged that Brown, whose claims against Harbour reportedly did not include any allegations of misconduct of a sexual nature, had a representative on the set of season 5, which wrapped filming in December of 2024. Reps for Netflix, Brown, and Harbour have not yet responded to requests from people for comment. So there's obviously... This is surprising, especially since this show, like season 5, the final season, it's coming out, obviously in a few weeks, the first part. And these two have always I've never seen anything where it doesn't look like they're getting along. In fact, like I've actually seen the opposite. It seems like they are very good friends. So I guess I'm curious to know the story here, but like it makes me kind of sad to think that maybe, I mean, it says harassment and bullying, so I wonder, like, I mean, that there's a lot that could fall under that umbrella, but the fact that it's harassment as well, that just kind of takes it a step further, which obviously is worrisome. I mean, Millie Bobby Brown like grew up on this TV show. Obviously, she is an adult now, but you know, she's, like I said, she's grown up on this show, and so it makes me sad that someone who maybe she thought, you know, she could look up to, no longer is that way. So yeah, I mean, we don't know much yet, but it is an unfortunate thing to hear, especially before, you know, this show is gonna be coming out. So I mean, I would assume that like they probably won't be in press together, would be my assumption, but I don't know, maybe they worked it out. It doesn't sound that way, but yeah, I guess time will tell. Maybe we'll hear more about it, maybe not. I will say though, I'm so excited for this show to come back. I have been waiting. I mean, we've all been waiting 3.5 years for this. And like, I thought I think season 4 was my favorite season. A lot of people don't agree with me on that. A lot of people, like, I feel like season 3 is widely people's favorite season. But my favorites, well, I'm rewatching it right now. So maybe I'll give you an update when I'm done rewatching it. But I really love season 4 and I really love season 2, with the exception of episode 8, where 11 is with her sister or whatever. So yeah, but I mean, I've liked all the seasons. I think they are all great in their own way. And like I said, it's a bummer seeing, these people who have such a loving, like, father-daughter mentorship relationship on screen, that is just not the case in real life. And I just hope that, I'm glad that Millie, like, took the step and, like, in drawing those boundaries. And it's a bummer to hear that something like that was happening, or that she was worried that something like that would happen on set. Like I said, we don't know the story. But yeah, I just hope that everything's okay, and that might not be the case, but yeah. So kind of a bummer to hear that. I don't really know how to, like, pivot to another story, so I'm just going to pivot. But in other news, this is actually a follow-up story to my pop culture story from last week about Heidi Klum, because obviously last week we didn't know what her costume was going to be, but I did kind of run through all of her iconic ones and some of the ones that we've seen in the past few years. And, I also kind of said that it was going to be hard to predict what she was going to be this year because she's so all over the place with her costumes. And yeah, I was right. I could not have predicted this costume. This year, Heidi Klum attended her 24th annual Halloween party at Hard Rock Hotel, New York on October 31st, 2025 in New York City. Klum, the supermodel and TV host who has become the celebrity face of Halloween, dazzled again as a scaly green version of Medusa. I would say it is a version of Medusa. I would call it a Medusa slug, because I'll put a picture on it if I clip this, but the way that her bottom half looks to me, it looks like that one character from Monsters Inc. who's always like, I'm always watching you, Wazowski, always watching. That's what the bottom half of Heidi Klum looks like in this photo. And then the top half is this, like, scaly green Medusa. And the reason I knew it was Medusa was because the hair. It looks like there's a nest of hair with snakes coming out of it, but then she has this, like, goblin looking face with really sharp teeth and, like, a long snaky tongue coming out. So it is a little scary, honestly. Like, it's kind of a scary looking costume, but man, every single year she just knocks it out of the park with the prosthetics and the makeup. I mean, it always just looks so, like, real, and she just always, I feel like she always surprises. Like, it's just like, you cannot predict what she's going to be. And I won't lie, I like this one. I don't like how scary it looks, but I do like how just it's good. Like, it looks like this one would be really hard to walk around in. And I guess when I look at her costumes, that's kind of one of my first thoughts is, how is she going to walk around in that? And I would assume she doesn't. I know she does costume changes for these parties. So I don't know what was her second costume. This article does not say what her second costume was. And I know she changes out of it. She's probably only in this costume for like an hour or two. And I did see in one of her interviews that she said, like, she cannot go to the bathroom in this costume. So I'm sure as soon as she needed to go to the bathroom, like, time to take it off kind of thing. So yeah, that was Heidi Klum's costume this year. She was what I would call a Medusa slug goblin. That's how I would describe it. That's what it looks like to me. So, moving on to our next story. And like, I'm going to do my best to talk about this, but there's so much to it that I just can't, like, I can only say so much. Okay. So Justin Baldoni's $400 million countersuit against Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds is officially dead. So it says one half of the It Ends With Us legal battle has reached its end. Justin Baldoni's $400 million lawsuit against Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds is officially dead after the actor declined to file an amended complaint. In a Friday ruling obtained by People and reviewed by Entertainment Weekly, U.S. District Court Judge Louis Lyman signed a new order formally dismissing the lawsuit, stating that Baldoni and his Wayfarer ad popped up. Studios co-plaintiffs allowed the refile deadline to lapse after their case was dismissed in June. So it sounds like it's almost over. So I don't know what this means. I don't know legal jargon. I know that, if what I'm remembering is correct, because like I feel like I haven't heard much about this case in a while. So Blake Lively she was the one who filed first, claiming sexual harassment from Justin Baldoni. And then he filed a counter, and he was suing her for defamation, kind of. I don't know, not defamation. Okay, please forgive me. Okay, here we go. So what began was Lively filed a complaint with the California Civil Rights Department last December accusing her co-star, Baldoni, of sexual harassment on the set of It Ends With Us. Then, in response, Baldoni filed his $400 million lawsuit against her as well as her husband, Ryan Reynolds, and their publicist, Leslie Sloan, claiming civil extortion, defamation, breach of contract, and invasion of privacy. He also filed $250 defamation suit against the New York Times over the publication's story that first brought Lively's allegations to light. So I guess I was right. Wow, I'm so smart. So it sounds like this Baldoni was asked to amend a complaint. They declined and his team didn't. So maybe they want it to be over. There might have been another reason why he didn't amend it. And I want to say it was so that he could later, if he wanted to, file an appeal. But here's the thing, you guys. I'm not Team Blake. I'm not Team Baldoni. I'm Team no one. I kind of want this all to be over. I don't really it's just a lot. Like, there's really a lot going on. This web, like, I feel like it just keeps getting deeper and deeper, more tangled. I don't know. I wasn't there, so I literally have no idea what happened. But it sounds like it's being dismissed, this case. Like, is it over? Is it over? Because, like, maybe it's time for it to be over. I don't know. And because of this, do we think people are going to be saying that Blake won? Or are people going to be saying that Baldoni won? Like, I don't know. But yeah, this was published today. So, but it said that it happened on Friday, but I guess it just hit news today. I don't know. So if you're interested in that happened. And maybe we're one step closer to this case being fully dismissed, unless this is what that means. I don't know. So yeah, I did see that movie. I read the book, and the book, it was a very unexpected storyline. I mean, when I went in to read that book, I did not expect that storyline, with what it is. It's obviously very triggering storyline, and I had no idea that that was what I was walking into. And I don't know, I liked the book, but I've liked other Colleen Hoover books better. And then I saw the movie, and I thought the movie was good. I don't really have so many like feelings about it, but yeah, I mean, I think probably for both parties, maybe they just want this to be over at this point. But I guess it sounds like we're gonna find out more. I don't know. I think we're gonna see more soon, probably. So yeah, that was our third story. We're moving on to our fourth story. Britney Spears' recent turbulence on Instagram has come to an end in a surprising way, as the pop star appears to have deleted her account. The Lucky Singer's account, which as of Saturday bore the handle Britney Spears and the display name, I'm not even going to read that whole thing, now directs to an error page that notes the profile is no longer available. The link may be broken or the profile may have been removed. The blank page now reads in place of an account that displayed thousands of posts from over 12 years of activity. It is currently unclear whether Spears personally deleted her account or if the social media platform owned by Mark Zuckerberg's Meta enacted a suspension or deletion of her account. Entertainment Weekly has reached out to representatives of both parties for comment. The deletion of Spears' account comes after publishing several concerning posts, spurred by the publication of a memoir by Kevin Federline, Spears' ex-husband and the father of her two sons. So I just checked Instagram. Could not find her profile. I was following her, so it would have popped up. I read Britney's memoir. I thought it was so good. I love Britney and I want her to be happy and I want her to be healthy, and I'm always cheering her on. And I haven't read Kevin Federline's like whatever his memoir yet. I've heard it's just like kind of talks a lot about Britney in it, and he makes a lot of claims in his memoir, and that's what I've heard. And so obviously, like, it's interesting because Britney put out a memoir too, but obviously talked about Kevin Federline, but I didn't feel like she said a lot of negative things about him, more so about Justin Timberlake, I would say, in her memoir, but it was a few years ago that I read it. So, but anyways, so this is concerning because she's very active on Instagram. She posts videos and stuff every day, I would say, almost. And so it is a little concerning that there is no more page for her. Just with her, like, everything that has happened in her life. And if you read her memoir, I would recommend you do. It is really interesting, and I just think it's cool, like, hearing her perspective, and it's so rare. It was, when it came out, like, that was not long after the conservatorship had ended, and so it was nice to hear things from her perspective, because we really hadn't heard from her perspective in so long. And so I really liked that piece of it, and yeah, I just hope she's okay. It's very possible she's just taking a break from social media, because I think a lot of people have been talking about what Kevin Federline has said about her, and maybe she's taking a break. It could be that Meta shut her page down. I don't know why they would, unless she was, unless they said that she was violating like community guidelines or something, but I don't know. I would find it hard to believe that Meta would take her page down. I think it's more likely that she's taking a break. Like I said, I just hope she's okay, because I just want her to be happy. I love Britney so much. I just want her to be happy, and like, yeah, that's really all I care about. Like, can we just, yeah, leave Britney alone for real? Let's see if there's anything else in this story worth mentioning. And I think that, like, Britney cares just most about based off of the things she has communicated through Instagram and other social media, it seems like she just wants to be able to be a mom to her sons. And I think that's what she cares most about, is that's what I've gathered from some of her posts. And so it just makes me sad. Like, I hope this is just like her taking a break, and maybe that's what's needed, you know? So I'm choosing to believe that that's the case for Britney. Moving on to our final pop culture story for today. Now, I am a huge Vanderpump Rules fan. I watched the entire series last summer. I've rewatched the series. I love it. And it's time to raise a glass to the new generation of servers. So the Vanderpump Rules finally revealed its completely rebooted cast, in the Bravo series drama-filled season 12 trailer. So the new trailer for season 12 of Vanderpump Rules was released today, and you kind of see Lisa just talking about Sir, and then like we see obviously some clips from the new season and with all the new cast. And so also I want to plug one of my very good friends, Molly. She has an account where she talks about all things pop culture, and it's her handle is Mollywood. So you should follow her on Instagram and TikTok, because she's going to be talking a lot about she talks about all things pop culture. Like, she keeps you up to date on everything that's going on with Dancing with the Stars, Vanderpump Rules, like pretty much any reality TV show she's watching, and she is doing the homework for you. So go follow her, because she posted a video today just kind of showing all of the cast's Instagram accounts, which I found interesting, because here's my my opinion. I'm excited for this season. I'm excited they're starting over. I don't want them to try to remake Vanderpump Rules. I want them, like, I think it's exciting that they're starting fresh, but I don't want them to try to have a Stassi or to have a Jax. Like, you can never remake those people. It just won't happen. So I'm excited to see this cast, and I hope that they are their own people. And the reason I brought up my friend Molly Wood's account is because she posted all of their Instagrams and was kind of just telling us a little bit about each cast member. And what I liked was almost all of them except for two, and the two that have a lot of Instagram followers were like on TV already. But everybody else has less than 10,000 followers. A lot of them have less than 5 as of now. And so what I like about that is that these people are not, like, they have nowhere to go but up. And so I'm excited, because that is how the original cast of Vanderpump Rules was. Nobody knew who they were, like, and that's what made it so good. And so I'm excited about this cast. The trailer looked good. Like, I'm excited. I'm gonna be watching. It comes out on December 2nd. And I think it's going to be, it's going to be good because it's a new group. It's going to feel like early days of Vanderpump Rules. That's my hope. But it's going to be with a whole new group. And, maybe we can grow with this group, and they can, make something really awesome. So I'm really excited about this new season of Vanderpump Rules, and I look forward to watching the premiere. So that wraps up the pop culture stories of this week. Let me know if you guys enjoyed me talking about this stuff. I kind of had a really good time talking about it, even though I don't really know. Like, I'm not as pop cultured, if you will. Like, I feel like I do my best to keep up with pop culture stories, but like, for example, the Blake Lively, Justin Baldoni, like, I don't know all of the details about it. So I did my best to give some commentary on it, in, the best way possible. But let me know if you liked me sharing those stories. Let's move on to the new fast food items that I've tried and I love. So I actually haven't tried anything new, but I do have something that I need to try, like, as soon as possible. And I really want to try the Flamin' Hot grilled cheese burrito from Taco Bell. I've seen ads for it. The grilled cheese burrito is like one of my favorite fast food items of all time. Every time I order Taco Bell, I get the grilled cheese burrito, and it's so good. So I really want to try the Flamin' Hot grilled cheese burrito. I mean, it's very rare that I have something from Taco Bell that I don't like. I mean, I think I actually enjoy every single thing that they have there. I mean, the Cantina chicken menu truly is maybe one of the best additions of all time. I worked on a campaign with Taco Bell like a year and a half ago when the Cantina chicken menu came out, and like that was obviously the first time I had ever tried it, and I feel like they've evolved it since then, and there's so many good items on that menu. One of my favorites is the Cantina chicken taco, but it's like the one that has the cheese grilled onto the side of the hard shell taco. So it's a hard shell taco with melty cheese on it on the outside, and then the inside is Cantina chicken with chipotle sauce and like cheese. It's literally the best thing ever. It's so good. Like, I'm actually thinking about ordering it right now. That sounds so good. So yeah, I need to try the Flamin' Hot grilled cheese burrito. I love Flamin' Hot Cheetos. I'm assuming that that's what's inside, or it's like that flavor at the very least. So I'm very excited to try that, and I should do it before it goes away. I hope it's not limited time. Some products I've been loving lately, you guys. So I know last week I talked about Rhode, and Rhode still is literally like my favorite thing ever. But I've been also branching out on other like other just like lip stuff. Cause I love Rhode, but like, you know, I gotta broaden my horizons a little bit. So I found the Kylie Cosmetics Supple Kiss Lip Glaze. So this one is like the sheer shimmery one. And then I also got one of her liners, and I really, really enjoyed it. I'm just going to put some of this gloss on right now. It's really pretty. It's really pretty, and it tastes good and smells good. So yeah, so I've been really loving the liner and the gloss. I tried it this past weekend and it was amazing. But yeah, obviously like I love Rhode, but I will say like this is really good too. This is another really good option. You can get this at Target. That's where I got it. So that's something that I've been loving. So that about wraps up this episode. Thank you guys so much for listening. If you have any unhinged stories that you want to hear feedback from an unbiased 28-year-old, I would be happy to anonymously share your stories and give some feedback for you. So please email spilltheranch@gmail.com, and I might anonymously share your stories and give some unbiased feedback if you need help. Like maybe you need advice because you don't know how to break up with your boyfriend, or because you need to talk to your friend about a really serious topic, but you don't know how to approach them, or you really want to talk to your teacher about something, but you don't know how to approach a topic. So just send me your stories. Let me know. I'd love to help you out. Lastly, if you do not follow me on my socials, I would love for you to join the party. I post a lot about the food I'm eating, my life, links for products that I love, like literally everything on Instagram and TikTok and YouTube. I'm very, very active on Instagram and TikTok, on my stories on there as well. And I am Noelle Loves Sloss on all social media. And then lastly, I would love it if you would give this podcast a review here on Spotify or on YouTube too. You can leave a comment, leave a like. But yeah, thank you so much for listening this week, and I will see you guys next week. I love you guys. Bye.